Um, let's talk about gay people and gay marriage. It's another trivial issue that gets way too much attention. But it's because we don't seem to want to address the root cause of the problem, why it persists. And being that that's what my videos aim to do, is to address the root cause, this seems to be an issue that's worth talking about. I heard about an issue about some bakery refusing to make a cake for a gay couple due to the baker's religious beliefs, which I find ironic, which because that person's religious beliefs permits them at the same time not only to, while they have disdain for gay people, their religious beliefs permits them to engage in business, which is the exploiting of customers and their faith in your product, in the value of your product. And we all know that businesses mark up products unnecessarily. And business is an endeavor of with an unscrupulous nature, one that I liken to war, that actually parallels war. And I should make, actually, I'm going to make a video on that, how business parallels war, because they produce the same effects: people suffering, very few people profiting. But that aside, let's go into gay people and gay marriage and people's problem with them. Why is gay people and gay marriage such a big deal in society? First off, we live in a patriarchy and have now for a long time. Even the very religious books, such as the Quran and the Bible, are patriarchal, are written from a patriarchy perspective. They are dominated by men and with an adoration for men. And I've already said in previous videos that mathematically it makes logical sense when you when a person thinks about it. The very thought of basing a society on male adoration and on male domination is homosexual in its very conception. Is it not? Do you make the connection? Innately, fundamentally, from step one, the moment society, the leaders of society decided to make society and base it in male domination and male adoration, that fundamentally a homosexual conception. Do you see how the two connect? Male love, homosexuality. Do you see how the male adoration, male domination, homosexuality? Do you see how they do you make the connection? Or am I could be the only, I could be loony on this. I could be out in left field on this. Now, another thing realization I came to. Would gay people, the issue of gay people, be a big deal if it wasn't for religion? Really think about that. Excuse me. If it wasn't for religion, would being gay even be a big deal? I don't think it would. I don't think it would. So let's examine religion's big problem with gay people. Let's see, and gay marriage. Let's see what religion has to say about gay people and gay marriage. Now, in the Old Testament, a section of the Bible that Christians are not supposed to ascribe to anymore. The Jewish people still do, but Christians are supposed to base their beliefs on the New Testament, which is why there's a New Testament in the first place, or there wouldn't be such a thing known as Christians. The very point of the New Testament is the coming of Christ, which is the basis for the term Christians. Now, one of the things that Jesus says in the Bible is that he frees people from the old law of the Old Testament. Now, getting back to Sodom and Gomorrah, the city that God destroys because a lot of sexual perversion. I forgot the word they use in there. It's one of those old, I want to say abomination. Let's go with abomination. A city of a sexual abomination. That's a very, Christians love that word, abomination. Because sexual abomination was happening in that city. That's where Lot had to flee from, and his wife Sarah turned around. Was it Sarah? I forgot his wife's name, but she turned around and turned to salt when God destroyed it with fireballs from the sky. So you have that story. And there's something else there's another verse that they go into that a preacher pointed to me one time, that supposedly Jesus says about in regards to sexual perversion or something like that. First off, Jesus doesn't say anything about against gay people in the Bible whatsoever. There is no verse in the Bible that Jesus says anything against gay people exclusively. Now, if you'll notice in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, we get the word sodomite from, or sodomize, which is to penetrate the anal cavity, which is what that means. That story is more specific in terms of homosexuality. But Jesus never specifically says anything against gay people. It's something more to the effect of sexual perversion, which could be anything. Could be cunnilingus, could be fellatio, could be heterosexual anal sex, could be dirty talk, for all we know. I'm really not trying to make light of the situation. I'm just trying to think of the possibilities. I'm considering here. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? I'm considering. Anyway, so that aside, that the Bible really says nothing against gay people, to give Christians, which dominate our society, valid reason to hold anything against gay people or gay marriage. So let's see what the Bible says about marriage. Christians love to say that marriage is an institution. It's a sacred institution for males and females. Oh, all of a sudden the Bible, religion wants to remember that females have some importance in this situation, and how society really is based on the female in this situation is when Christianity wants to remember it. I find that comical. Just a caveat I wanted to add. But marriage in the Bible it doesn't have all that legal documentation. It was more two people getting together in front of publicly, announcing it publicly that they were together, and there was a celebration to it. That's it. If you want to say that makes it a specific um, a specific endeavor or action to be engaged in by male and females, I can say that to that I would say that that would be a traditional view of it. But if we look back and leaving religion outside of it, if we look back on the ancient times, there was in Greek society, which much of AIDS American society is based on, reference our court language or our professional language, as well as our government Latin use of Latin language also in government documents. Ancient Greece has a lot of influence in our society today. Ancient Greece, ancient Athens, and what have you, and Europe in period in general, but definitely primarily, I will say ancient Greece. When we look at ancient Greece, there was a lot of homosexuality in ancient Greece. There was a lot of homosexuality, and even worse, what's known as pederasty, which was known then as boy loving. It was even a long time in Greece, where it was an accepted practice, where yes, you could have a wife, but your best friend, your confidant, was your boy lover. Not even just a male lover, but a boy lover. Today, a lot of doctors and wealthy men are still embroiled occasionally in controversies when it comes to young boys. Some get caught in Thailand, for instance, or the Philippines. So that's what I'll say to the power structure in relation to gays and gay marriage. The power structure being the state, and the power structure being religion, because religion has been a part of the state for a long time now. And get back to religion. Religion speaks against gay people and gay marriage as if they have some credibility. I'm just wondering, that's funny. How can we give a group of people who, when you ask them any simple question as to the validity of their beliefs, the best answer they can give you is to have faith, or it's beyond God's work is beyond our understanding? Why are we giving these people any kind of validity or credibility whatsoever? They have cell phones, they drive cars, so they do believe in logic. They live in houses. All these things are provided by logic. None of them prayed for their house. None of them prayed for their cell phones. None of them prayed for their car. They all had to go through a logical process in order to attain those things. So why are we participating in this play along activity with them in, hey, you say that there's a young Santa Claus out there that will return, and that gives us orders on how to live morally. And even though you have no validity for this, no supporting evidence, we're just going to take your word for it and say that you're credible. What year are we in? Are we in the 22nd century or the 21st century right now? I mean, are we still in biblical times? Are we in medieval times? Are we in the Dark Ages? Have we made any progress? We forget that that's when the church ruled. And that was the best effect of their thinking. The Dark Ages. Let's go down the list of the credibility of what gives the church credibility. And let's see who's the real problem here. If it's gay people and gay marriage, or if it's religion. If you're open-minded, only way people can be offended is if this is the truth. Because have I used a curse word? Have I slurred anyone? I'm going to go to facts, which is what I'm thinking. I'm using reason, Facts and logic here. Okay. The Bible is still used in our courts. People swear on the Bible. In fact, the president still swears on it to take office. And on our money, inscribed right there on the back of it, it says, "In God we trust." Things give not only Christianity, but religion in general credibility. It makes them believable. People say to themselves, and you know what? To me, it's deliberately so. Because we know that it suggests that to people. It's on the money. It's still being sworn on in the court system. It's still being sworn on by the president before he takes office. But let's speak real for a moment. If we really look at the Bible in its proper context, and I'm not saying that there isn't wisdom, and there is some wisdom in it. I will say maybe 25% or a little less is wisdom in the Bible. But when I look at the Bible objectively and put it in a proper context of history, the book in actuality is a weapon of mass destruction. No different from a nuclear bomb or a cluster bomb or a carpet bombing. The Bible is a weapon. In fact, all religious texts, all the major religious texts are weapons of mass destruction. But let's speak specifically to the Bible for this moment, because since we're the ones with the issue of a wedding cake and religious right now, let's consider the Crusades. The leader of the church, the Pope at the time, calling for war, and this war was based on plundering more than it was any religion. Look up history. The Spanish Inquisition, or even before that, is it Copernicus or Galileo? I want to say it was Copernicus. Was it Copernicus or was it Galileo? One of the two ended up being banished and having to recant, saying that the earth was not the center of the universe. The church's wishes. Also, let's talk about the similarities in how the Israelites, the one who came out of Egypt, the story of the Israelites coming out of Egypt and establishing their promised land. The similarities between that story and the story of the pilgrims leaving England and coming to America and engaging the Native Americans. Examine the eerie similarities between those two stories one time, because no one ever speaks on that. And if we want to talk about what Jesus says in the Bible, first off, I have a problem there as well. The apostles who write about Jesus in the Bible, in the New Testament, which would be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all four give a different account of Jesus' life and how he died. All four give a different account of his life and how he died. Yet all four were together around Jesus at the same time. How could this be? Well, we know about faulty human memory. But you know what a good detective calls faulty human memory? First off, our court system calls that. And second off, a good detective calls faulty memory faulty eyewitness accounts. It would be inadmissible in our courtroom. That's what I'm telling you. The Bible doesn't even meet the standard of our courtroom. And our courtroom is faulty as it is. I think I've already referenced that in a few videos already. So there goes that with that one. And Gay people and gay marriage, really, Christians? Is that the biggest issue on your plate right now? Corruption, hypocrisy, maybe, I don't know, maybe even proof of your deity? Do those things hold any priority of concern for you, for your group at all whatsoever? And here's another thing. What country are we in? What country are we in? We love to speak of the word freedom, but is this not another example of supporting my claim, my assertion that we are not free? Freedom is illusory. We are in a peer pressure society. You're not free. I've always said, if you're free, how come I'm always being told how to be black? My skin color is not validation enough. You're always being told how to be white. If you're supposed to be, if white culture is such a natural thing, why are you constantly being told how to be white? Even Christians constantly telling each other how to be Christian. They're constantly within their own group, competing for who's more Christian than who this week. Constantly judging and talking behind each other's back and talking down to each other. The only thing they agree on is imposing their sick and twisted and warped ways upon the rest of us who have the presence of mind not to engage in their cultish groupthink behavior. Religion encourages its practitioners not to think and consider. It encourages them to simply blindly follow. Is that not the behavior you see from its adherents? They're always saying, oh, that's one or two bad apples, when you point to incidents and hypocrisy constantly playing out from Christians. But they'll say it's never the whole group. Well, I'm going to be the one to bring you the proof of the truth. Sorry, it is the whole group. The entire group of Christianity is fraudulent, hypocritical. It's a one big false narrative. And like I said before, I am not saying that the Bible does not have some semblance of wisdom within it, but it is sparse. All of these books are the same way. Buddhism, yes, Buddha, I will say the Buddhism has a lot of wisdom in it. But did it solve the problem of humanity? The issues of humanity? It did not. Life is about morality as well as intellect, not a choice between the two. That's what I'll say to all of you religions. It's like they put that in front of us. You either have to be moral or you have to be effective and intellectual. What do you mean? I can be both. Why can't you be a moral thinker? Instead, they want you to be a moral automaton, or you're going to be an evil thinker. When look at how Christians, the Christians who are, how they behave. They're talking about prosperity. God doesn't love you if He's not blessing you. If you don't have enough money, God's not blessing you. Hello? Like, these are the people we're listening to and allowing to influence gullible minds. Because remember, gullibility is a part of our ability to. Adults are impressionable just like children are. So we're allowing these people to spread what they call gospel, aka what is in reality stupidity, idiocy, fairy tale. They have no business speaking to anyone about anything being done immorally. Let's go there. And second off, let me put another hole in this boat called Christianity and their higher than thou stance on everything. They're on their perch and pedestal. Gay people, for all intents and purposes, serve a very important function in today's society. In a population of 7+ billion human beings, and on a orb that we sit on that seems to get smaller and smaller the more human population grows, to the point that Bill Gates has to suggest adding genetically manufactured meat to our diets in order to meet the problem, or in order to counter the problem. Why gay people actually contribute to population control in terms of its growth, of growth. Christians, you cannot be anti-abortion and at the same time anti-gay. Which one of you are going to take care of all these kids? These extra kids that are going to be running around as a result? Are you really just comfortable with the notion that all these extra kids that are going to sit in adoption, which most of you won't adopt, they're going to sit in the system, grow up in the system, and then be led as lambs of slaughter to stop the prison industrial complex? Is that the idea you're more comfortable with? Is that the outcome that is moral in your mind? I'm not gay myself, but another thing I wanted to address on all you macho men out there, all you males, heterosexual males, because I'm a heterosexual male myself. There is not one heterosexual male on the planet. Let me expose a quick little secret for everyone, because that's what I like to do. I like to address taboo topics that we fear so much, yet we're the land of the brave. I try to show people what brave thinking really is, what brave thought really is. There is not a heterosexual man in America that has not had a homosexual thought. I repeat, there is not one homosexual man in all of America. I don't care how macho they talk. In fact, the more macho they talk, the more homosexual thoughts they've had before. I'll even go so far as saying that there's not one that has not had a homosexual thought before, and that includes you preachers. Thank you. You have no business telling anybody about morality. Get out of here with that.